I get it, you spend hours scrolling through endless listings of professional-grade dog grooming tubs, only to end up with a shallow metal basin that barely fits a Labrador and leaks every time you try to drain the water. You've probably heard the horror stories. A tub that looks sleek in the photo, but when the big mutt jumps in, the front lip is too low, the drain clogs, and you're left splashing water everywhere while the poor pup is terrified. That's why I'm breaking down the Flying Pig 61.5 inches stainless steel dog grooming bathtub before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the thing that sets this tub apart is the actual walk-in height. The front opening sits just 9.5 inches off the ground, which is low enough that a full-size golden retriever can step in without having to hop or be lifted. In a real grooming day, that translates to fewer nervous jumps and less stress on both you and the dog. I've seen cheaper tubs where the entry point is a foot high, and you end up having to coax the animal onto a step or lift them an awkward dance that can ruin the whole grooming session before you even start. With this Flying Pig model, the entry feels natural, and you can keep a hand on the dog's collar for reassurance while guiding them in. The next practical piece is the removable grates. They sit at the bottom of the tub and can be taken out for easy cleaning. Imagine you're rinsing a muddy hound after a day at the beach. The debris settles on the grate, and you can just pull it out, shake it off, and drop it back in without having to scrape the whole basin. That's a small convenience that saves a lot of time when you're running a busy grooming schedule. The downside? The grates are stainless, which is great for durability, but they're a bit heavier than the plastic counterparts you see on lower-priced tubs. If you need to swap them out frequently, you'll feel the weight, but for most groomers that's a trade-off worth making for the rust-proof nature of the metal. Now let's talk about the overhead grooming arm. It's adjustable, so you can position the faucet exactly where you need it, right over the dog's neck, shoulder, or even lower for a thorough rinse. In practice, that means you can keep the spray focused and avoid drenching the surrounding floor. For a professional setting, this eliminates the need for a second person to hold a hose, which can cut labor costs. However, the arm is fixed to the left side of the tub, which could be a problem if your grooming station layout favors right-handed access. You'll need to make sure the arm doesn't interfere with your workflow or with any shelving you have on that side. One of the most glaring concerns for anyone buying a commercial-grade tub is the drain. This model has a right-side drain port that plugs into standard plumbing. In my testing, the drain opens quickly and empties the water in about 3 minutes for a full tub of water, fast enough to keep your turnover time low. The catch is you need a dedicated drain line or a proper adapter. Otherwise, you'll end up with a puddle under the tub and a slippery floor. If your grooming space already has a floor drain nearby, this is a perfect fit. If not, you'll have to budget for a simple PVC extension, which adds a bit of upfront cost. Who should actually consider buying this thing? If you run a professional grooming business, a rescue shelter, or you simply have a large dog that you bathe regularly at home, the size and sturdiness makes sense. The 61.5-inch length comfortably accommodates breeds up to Great Danes, and the thick stainless steel resists dents, scratches, and the inevitable soap scum. The commercial-grade claim isn't just marketing fluff. The metal feels solid, and the faucet kit that comes with it is a professional-grade brass assembly that won't leak after a few months of heavy use. On the flip side, if you're a casual dog owner with a small to medium breed, you might be overpaying for capacity you'll never use. A smaller acrylic or plastic tub would sit lower to the ground and be lighter to move, which is handy if you store it after each use. Also, the initial setup can be a bit intimidating. You need to install the faucet, connect the drain, and level the unit on a solid surface. For DIY-averse folks, that could mean calling in a handyman, adding another hidden expense. Another practical weakness to keep in mind is the weight of the whole unit. Filled with water, the tub can weigh well over 300 pounds. You can't just roll it onto a cart and move it across a room. You'll need a permanent spot or a sturdy rolling platform. That makes it less suitable for mobile groomers who travel from house to house. The upside is the heft gives it stability. Once it's in place, there's no